Hi everyone, welcome back to God's Whispers, a place where we take the time to pause and reflect on the word of the Lord. Today I'm going to be speaking about the Gospel according to Luke, chapter 19, verses 41 through 44. It's a pretty short passage, but deep. Jesus is approaching Jerusalem, and scripture says that he's crying. From what I understand, it's one of the few places in the gospel where Jesus openly weeps. He's entering Jerusalem for the final week of his earthly ministry, the week of Passion. This is the same city that will reject him, misunderstand him, and eventually crucify him. But instead of being angry, he cries. Why? Because he sees things that people cannot. The spiritual blindness, the violent path, political expectations, their refusal to even recognize God's visitation, and then the destruction that happens. It states, "As Jesus drew near Jerusalem, he saw the city and wept over it, saying, 'If this day you only knew what makes for peace, but now it is hidden from your eyes. The days are coming upon you when your enemies will raise a palisade against you. They will encircle you and hem you in on all sides. They will smash you to the ground and your children within you, and they will not leave one stone upon another within you, because you did not recognize the time of your visitation.'" So Jesus then speaks about the coming of the destruction of Jerusalem in 70 AD, when Rome would seize the city, tear down its walls, burn the temple, and devastate the population. This prophecy came true just 40 years later. But here's the part that many people might miss. He's not predicting judgment out of anger. He's grieving because he loves them. He longs to gather and heal and restore. People don't recognize the time of God's visitation. So when I read this passage, it kind of dawned on me that Jesus doesn't see just the outside of our lives. He sees the inside. He sees the moments when we're running on spiritual autopilot. He sees the places that we settle for distraction instead of peace. He doesn't respond with shame, but he responds in the same way that was stated in Luke 19, with tears, with longing, and with compassion. Sometimes the biggest tragedy in life isn't what we suffer, but what we miss. We miss his presence when we're busy. We miss his peace when we're overwhelmed. We miss his voice when everything else is so loud. But Jesus is still whispering, "If you only knew the things that make for peace." I think some journal prompts that would go along with this would be, what are some things that make peace in my life right now? And what helps me recognize Jesus' presence in that? And where have I been spiritually distracted? And what am I missing that God might be trying to show me right now? And when it says Jesus wept over the city he loved, what places in my life do you think Jesus longs to heal? And if Jesus stood in front of me today, what do you think he might say that I haven't noticed? And finally, what's one practical step that I can take today to slow down, to not miss God's visitation? I hope this message resonated with you, and I hope my scratchy throat isn't too much of a distraction. Please feel free to pass it along, and don't forget to subscribe so you can continue to hear God's Whispers.